Hey, thanks for tuning in to Lrga Curves today. Make sure you smash that like button and smash the subscribe button on your way in if you haven't already. I love that you stopped by today. You know what I want to talk about today is Below Deck Mediterranean, 2 episodes in 1. Don't go chasing waterfalls and a hard day's night all together because they have a lot to do with each other. First, I want to get into the ranks on yachts are very important. However, a rank by any other name on any other yacht would be important. But obviously, the rank order has nothing to do with how you are treated and how respected in your position on the Below Deck Mediterranean series because Lexi has 2 stripes. Katie has 3 stripes. And all the people that were bullying Lexi have like 1 stripe and 2 stripes, okay? And the 3-stripe lady, Katie, let it happen. I went and found this on superyachtcrewagency.com, the hierarchy and how it's like pretty self-explanatory. And it's very exact. Like, I mean, sometimes the job duties merge, but I still feel like Lexi had every right to question being put on laundry as a person with 2 stripes. Anyway, Lexi was bullied by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people at least, and they're pictured here the whole season and the whole day, but particularly in these 2 episodes. So, Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls, this picture was taken at the luncheon after the waterfall day, and they were all spent all day talking ish about Lexi. I mean, they couldn't stop. They stood up at her, they pointed at her, and then it carried over into the next day they had off, and they continued to berate Lexi. And as soon as she talked back, she would say things like, "Oh, my money's fatter than your bank account. I have more money than you. What you say doesn't matter." And they would call her toxic for talking about her money status. But they were continuously attacking her physical, like, personality, calling her lazy, saying she's not right. They were talking about she talks to herself. And Katie, the first stew, allowed it to happen. So, first stew, she had an opportunity to get everybody in line and have them at least respect the hierarchy, which would have lessened the amount of bullying that Lexi had to endure. But no, instead of being a boss, Katie was a Karen on the sea and said, "I ain't sorting this out. We're not at work," and continued to let them treat Lexi faulty. Now this girl right here, I just wanted to do a quick minute. I forget this girl's name, but she just twerked the whole season, and she only has 1 stripe, and she got to do Lexi's job, who has 2 stripes, which was part of the reason Lexi had attitude, was because Katie wasn't respecting the stripe protocol and the hierarchy on the boat. And she was allowing this non-twerking Karen the opportunity. All she does is sexually harass the black guy and make fun and talk about Lexi. But here she is. She gets to exist and call people names and get in people's faces and stand up over people, but nothing happens. Oh, and then the guy that she loves, while he's at work, not at work, he gets fall down, knockout drunk. Now, the reason I'm putting out these pictures is because this is all behavior that is acceptable to not only Katie, the chief stew, but also acceptable to Sandy, Captain Sandy. This is all acceptable, but what's not acceptable is Lexi talking about how much money she has in retaliation for 6 people bullying her all day and night and trying to get the new girl to bully her too and think less of her also. It was a really disgusting, abrasive thing to watch as a viewer. And also, back to Katie. She's like, "I'm not sorting this out. We're not at work." But in true Karen style, she only meant it in that moment, because the first chance this Karen got, as soon as Lexi talked back to being bullied, see, she wasn't sorting it out when they were bullying her. But as soon as Lexi talked back, Now that needs to get brought up to Captain Sandy. Let's go real fast over to Captain Sandy and let Captain Sandy know that the black stewardess was talking back when she was being bullied by 6 people at a time. I need to go tell on that. But I don't need to tell that these people are fall down drunk, sexually harassing each other, and bullying a person of higher rank on the ship. And I'm not doing nothing about it. So here is Katie going in true Karen style, and of course lying and embellishing the effects of the evening and the lunch, and saying that they can't work with Lexi or vice versa, and because that's obviously a problem. And then Katie had the nerve to lie and say Lexi kind of called Courtney lazy. Courtney is that blonde one who can't twerk. No, what she told Courtney is you can't twerk anyway and you can't make drinks. But Katie is a biatch because she is, go back to previous episodes if you feel like boring your eyes. Go back to previous episodes in which Katie did refer to Lexi as lazy. Yeah, I called her lazy. But anyway, so here they are after Katie and the chef, who continuously bullied Lexi, went to Captain Sandy and basically were saying that Lexi was hard to work with. And even though the chef said, I'm going to give the captain an ultimatum, it's either her or me, the captain didn't like that, but she did take a moment to interview all the other Karens on the boat. And she didn't interview the guys who had been in Lexi's face. She only interviewed Matt, the chef, who had been bullying Lexi from day one. And she interviewed Katie, who initiated it after she said it was not during work, so it didn't have to get brought up. All of a sudden it needs to get brought up. And ultimately, Lexi got fired because of all of that. After being constantly bullied by 6 crewmates who were beneath her rank, instead of being supported by her superior ranking stewardess, she was lied on and blamed and scapegoated and ultimately fired because of the interviewing of the 6, because of the bullying by the 6 crewmates and the interviewing of the international Karens. So Courtney is a Karen, Katie is a Karen, Malia is a Karen because Malia is the bosun, but Malia had a whole department she could have been worrying about. And instead of worrying about her department, she was worried about embellishing the story on Lexi. I mean, these international Karen crew lied to the Captain Sandy like she was the police and a false report had to be made. Officer, this man is assaulting me and he's nowhere near you. We know how that goes. But of course, the white lady tears and the white fragility and the efficacy of white supremacy had to be upheld. And so she was ultimately fired and blamed for everything. While the other departments had their whole own issues, everything got put on to Lexi Wilson's shoulders, and she was fired. She only had, as she told us, 15 more days. If she only had 15 more days, if she could have only stood it with the Karens for 15 more days. But that chef, he's so vengeful and nasty. He didn't even want to cook for the people, y'all. And he got 3 chances. He got 3 chances. Lexi's father had just died before they started this whole thing, and so she was obviously emotionally raw. They took that into consideration like half a time, and the rest of the time they're riding Lexi and giving her issues and having zero compassion for this black woman on the international seas. So this is the people who were against her. The chef up top with Katie, they both are equivalent to 3 stripes. The bosun, Malia, pictured by herself, she has 2 stripes. And then these all 3 pictured right here, I don't know, Peter, Ziggy, and Courtney, they're deckhands and stews. and they only have one stripe. So they're beneath Lexi, who would be pictured here with Malia with her 2-stripe status. Anyway, I just had to make a comment on this because it really is a viewer. It troubled me to watch this shit. And I never watched the Below Deck series before, and I thought I'd give it a try because we did have some color on the high seas. And I was very disappointed to see the production of Bravo producing black people again, black women specifically, in a light of being aggressive and hard to work with. And whenever they voice their hurt or opinion, they're labeled as difficult to the point of being fired. And so it was nice watching Lexi on the high seas. Did you know she used to be like Miss somebody? Miss, where is she from? She's from some island or something. Anyway, she's a pageant queen. So anyway, hopefully she'll find a job that better suits her, where she doesn't have to be trapped with international Karens who are easily able to lie on her and embellish the story in an effort to make her the blame for everything on the ship. None of them, no matter what they said, it wasn't wrong. But whatever Lexi said, it was wrong. And she shouldn't have been saying it because it was wrong of her to say it, but it was okay for them all to say what they said. 6 against 1 is a bully. And Bravo let it happen, production let it happen, and Captain Sandy, I was very disappointed. Captain Sandy let it happen. Anyway, that was my quick take on what just happened in Below Deck Mediterranean. Thank you for tuning in to Lrga Curves today. And I hope you smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. I'll see you in the next video.